Baby, we got so much milk.
Guys, I have an oversupply, and the problem with that, like, I mean, obviously in the name it tells you the problem. It's an oversupply, but it's really tough at night because I can't sleep. So I have to pump. So I'm pumping every 2 hours. Regardless of if she's sleeping or not, I have to get up and pump. So even right now, I'm glad she's waking up because I'm super full, but she's not gonna be able to eat all of this. I'm gonna have to pump.
And how many ounces do you normally pump?
It depends. It depends. Like I've been trying to like steadily not pump till I'm empty so that my body can regulate itself, but I have to clear enough that it doesn't hurt. So I've been pumping anywhere between 12 and 18 ounces every time I pump on top of what she eats. And it's not really slowed down much. It's slowed down some because I used to have to pump twice. So it used to be like at least 24 ounces that I was pumping in one session. But I tried, at first I thought it was me. I thought I started pumping too early, which created my oversupply. But honestly, I don't think there was any way around it. I forgot. You want to change it? Or?
I'll change.
Okay. If you pump too soon, you can create an oversupply. But I also had the same problem with Ash, so I knew it was likely going to be a problem with Camille. But I didn't think it would be this bad because with Ash, I was pumping maybe anywhere from 6 to 12 ounces over. And because I thought with him, I thought that we might have, that he had like an allergy, like, I don't know, he had reflux, he had an allergy with the formula. It was a whole bunch going on with him. A lot of stuff we didn't know what to do because we were first time parents and breastfeeding, and people were like, breastfeeding doesn't hurt, which is a lie. It does hurt, especially if you're a new mom and you've never, ever breastfed before. I always say nobody wants anything out of you like a baby. So a baby is going to definitely test your nipples. So anyway, I say all that to say the problem for me is it wasn't latch or anything like that because both of them were tested by their pediatrician and a lactation specialist. They have good latches. They don't have tongue ties. The problem is my letdown is super forceful because I have so much milk. And I tried initially to, with Camille, to check it. So I was like, I wouldn't pump initially with her. I think you guys even saw, like, when we came home from the hospital, we just tried to kind of fend for ourselves and just kind of let the ball ride. But I started getting engorged to the point that it was just very painful, and I didn't want the, what is it called?
We'll have to put it on screen.
Yeah, I don't know how, I always call it mass tits because that's how your boobs get to be big, so I call it mass tits. I didn't want that, which is super painful. It's an infection, and but yeah, so I started pumping. Well, they tell you if you pump too early, you can cause an oversupply, but clearly an oversupply was what I was going to have regardless because it never went away. Like, I pumped just a little bit initially just to lighten the load, and it never got any better. Like, that first week, I think my milk came in super early too. Like, with Ash, I want to say he was like 4 days old. With Camille, she was like, it was like the next day my milk came in, and it came in strong. So Nick's gonna try to show you guys all the milk that has been expressed, and granted, that's not all the milk because somebody been wasting my milk, talking about you can make more. Okay,
You can make wasting milk.
yeah, I have been wasting milk, you guys. Like, trying to get used to, I have 3 different pumps and they're all really good. I have the LV Stride, the Mom Cozy, and those are like discreet wearable pumps, hand-free pumps and everything, which I love because my Amita does not allow me to be hands-free. Even with the hands-free bra, the way the Amita pump is made, the opening would have to go like over the top, and I don't know, I don't think bras are made like that, so it has no way of being hands-free. Hey girl. Hey girl, I hope you are ready to eat because I'm definitely ready to give you some milk.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a link in the description for the website we used to get that Eevee pump because it was actually a pretty good deal. Like they ask you for your insurance information,
It's LV.
whatever it is. They ask you for your insurance information, and if you don't qualify under their insurance, they'll still give you a discount off from the original retail price, which is great. I think sometimes you can even get up to like 30 or something around there dollars off, which is pretty good.
I think that's what we got. We got like a really good discount on it, which helped because our insurance said, oh, we don't cover that pump for your area.
Yeah, they cover it on the West Coast, but for some reason on the East Coast they don't.
You look at her, she's so hungry. She's like, y'all, that's the sound I hear at night when she's like waking up. Like she roots, but she also does this thing where she's like smacking her gums and everything. It's the funniest thing. Like she's greedy, and I love it.
In the freezer, this is what we got. We got this bag, and that bag right there. And it's 35 ounces in that one. So I'm gonna put in some snippets of the video. So I'm putting some snippets of preparing these bags. So yeah, what you wanna do is you wanna take all the milk and start breaking it up into weeks. And then take your bags, the pouches that you're saving the milk in, and make sure you have them dated. Fill out all the information on them. Make sure they're dated. Make sure you got how many ounces in it and all of that. I would recommend getting this mason jar, sealed mason jar bottle. It's 64 ounces, and that way it'll help your spouse with storing milk at night when you tired, you can't even spell your name right. So what you could do is they can pump, they can pour it all into that, they can pour all into that jar and then store it in the refrigerator overnight. Maybe even store it 3 or 4 days, because you should be able to store it for about 5 days in the refrigerator. So just start like on a Monday maybe to make it easy. Store it all the way up until Friday at the latest, and then you can mark every single one of those bags when you start bagging it all up on that Friday. You could just label it as that Monday, whatever the date was for the Monday, and that can be that 4 weeks of milk for the 5 days anyway, the work week. And then from there, you take all the bags, and then you can just start bringing them out into categories and say, okay, this is this week, this is that week, and start counting them up to see how many ounces are in each week. So then once you got them, you just stack them in the Ziploc bags and then mark what the date is that week, and then put in how many ounces it is. And if you do it like that, you could always figure out how much total supply you have, so that when you have the dilemma we have, where we have like an oversupply, we can figure out how much milk we really have and how much we really need. Because if you see that your baby's eating, let's say your baby's eating 4 times a day, or let's say 5, your baby's eating 5 times a day and they're drinking 4 ounces every time, that's 20 ounces a day. So if they're drinking 20 ounces a day, if you're trying to prepare for when you go back to work and they're at daycare or with a babysitter or whoever, then I would probably try to keep enough milk to last through the week or throughout 2 weeks. And then that's your goal for how much milk you need to be trying to save so that you know you don't just be saving up a whole bunch of milk and just taking up space that you don't have. And and you know, then because a lot of people, they'll end up saying, well, we need more storage for the milk, we need another system of storage. So then they'll go buy a whole nother deep freezer, or a deep freezer if they didn't have one, just to store the milk. just figure that out. That's gonna be different for different households. So just figure out how much milk you will need for probably around a week to 2 weeks, which would more than likely be 5 days. So 10 days of milk supply is what I would probably shoot for. If you want to get real advanced with it, I would look at when you start, you know, breaking down the freezer bags of milk and figuring out how much, you can look at it and see how much milk is being produced per week. So just do that, and then once you have it all, it'll be neatly, like, all of the milk will be neatly stored up in Ziploc bags that you can stack easier. You can put in a row in the freezer or whatever. And if you do have a deep freezer, it'll help you store that and be able to put groceries in there still. And if you have it in a regular freezer, maybe it'll help you keep from getting a deep freezer. Yeah, we got a lot. Y'all, we got a lot. There is milk all in this deep freezer. I was pulling out milk, finding more milk that I forgot we had in other bags of like milk stacks. And I've been bagging this milk up and writing how many ounces in each Ziploc bag for close to about 45 minutes, and I'm probably half done. We still got to vote today so that we can make sure that Herschel Walker crazy self don't end up our senator.
We're gonna put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China's bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move. So it moves over to our good air space. And now we gotta clean that back up.
So I'm gonna leave y'all now so that I can get all this done and do that. But if y'all have any questions, if you have any other tips that I might have missed about how to do the breast milk storage and how to do everything, leave those tips in the comments, because I'm pretty sure the moms that'll fall upon this video will greatly appreciate any kind of tips, if whether it's how to keep. Well, yeah, dads will appreciate it too.
I feel like these are really good tips for your partner, because everybody wants to know how best to help, you know, a new mom, and making sure you store that milk is gonna help, because if you let that milk go bad as the partner, trust me, you're gonna not just be in the doghouse, but you ain't gonna ever come home. Like, that's just gonna be it. So I think the game changer really was the jar at night, using the jar for storage, so that I don't have to create the bags while I can't, you know, like focus and concentrate and have to put the baby back down and all that stuff. So doing that jar really helps. The system of washing out bottles and all that stuff,
oh yeah,
all of that stuff really helps. Like, so as a partner, you're really partnering for the long haul with this breastfeeding stuff, because we didn't do that with Ash. With Ash, it was pretty much, I was a one production person. Like, Nick didn't know how to help, I didn't know how to tell him to help, and we were just we were at each other's throats. It was like that movie Knives Out. Like, it was bad.
Oh, so yeah, like we said, any other tips that y'all have, if it's like how to produce more milk, if it's how to maybe slow down milk because you can't keep just throwing milk away and you don't have no space for it. Like, just any kind of tips when it comes to breastfeeding, we would greatly appreciate those comments. And like this video. If you appreciate what we're doing, let us know by liking that video, hitting that subscribe button, and we'll holler at y'all later. Appreciate y'all.